So Superpedestrian is a world leader in robotics technology for small vehicles. So we started working on small vehicle technology more than 10 years ago and have been innovating basically technology for small electric vehicles since then. We currently operate a shared e-scooter fleet across 11 countries, 65 cities in both Europe and the US. And the demand is very different in the different cities we work in, depending on a lot of various factors. For example, in the UK, we're in Nottingham. Nottingham is a fantastic city for scooters. I think it's actually one of the most popular scooter programs in the country. We get, I think, 3 or 4 times ridership as much as London. You'd be surprised. But also we work very closely with the council on promoting the scheme. So really encouraging people to try out those new vehicles. We do a lot of safety training. We have a dedicated community manager who's in Nottingham, really working with those local communities, because we of course it's really a great, sustainable, safe way to move around, but it's very important to also be part of the community. We have around 1,000 scooters in Nottingham, and we made, I think, before our first year, around 1 million trips. So really, very popular way to move around. For us, safety has different aspects to it. I think it all starts with really vehicle safety. And vehicle safety, we spent more than 2 years designing a vehicle. We're the only company that fully designs their vehicle in every component of it, designing a vehicle mechanically to be safer. So mechanical safety is one element, and then there is the VI, which is the vehicle intelligence that we have in the scooter. And the vehicle intelligence is really important because it's making sure that you're checking the scooters for all the electric components. You're doing checks continuously to making sure it's safe to ride every time. But that is really one part of safety. The other part is pedestrian safety, is safety of everyone, not just the scooter rider, but everyone who's on the ground. And that's why we've innovated what we call pedestrian defense, which is our cutting edge technology to make sure that scooters are only where they're supposed to be. And PD really allows us to detect any sort of pavement riding in any of our cities, and then we could either do the lower end of the intervention is rider education, where we would send a message at the end of the ride and say, we saw that you rode on the pavement, please be careful next time. Then the next level is basically us actually, we have the light on the scooter that would go red, tell you're riding where you're not supposed to be, or the scooter will, and then the higher end of the intervention is where the scooter would actually slow down or come to a safe stop. So the technology has further application, which is really sharing data with cities, because if, let's say in Nottingham, if we have 2 people a month riding on the pavement, or 10 people, or then it's probably a behavior, it's a behavior problem. It's those users that are not respecting the rules. But if you have thousands and thousands of people riding on a pavement in a certain area, then we would go and work with our city partner to say, we found that this area is problematic. Is there an infrastructure issue? Is it very clear where to ride? Can we do anything? Can we do some road signage? Can we, work maybe on a biking lane? Because then it's not an individual problem, but it's more of, a kind of broader issue that sometimes people go on the pavement just because it's a last defense. So this is where this technology is very innovative in a way that you could tailor it to the needs of every city and use data as a really powerful tool to give those insights to, to our partners that we work with in the cities. And we all know that the reason why you have a car, the reason why you would buy a car, is convenience. So it's very important when we want to encourage people to move to shared mobility, whether it's shared bikes or shared scooters or shared cars, whatever it is, we need to make it as convenient. I think that we are really in the beginning of the, we talk about mobility and transport and shared scooters and shared bikes and all this, revolutionary stuff kind of happening, and all those different modes of transport. We're seeing integration like never before, integration with transit. We're seeing more people on those vehicles, but I think it's just the beginning. It's actually, the potential is huge. So the way I see this moving is it becomes essential transport, so it's not leisure. The other one is more integration, which means more seamless journey, more convenience, making those shared mobility options as convenient as having your private car, and more and more people moving away from private ownership to really picking and choosing the vehicle of transport that is most suitable for the journeys, because I think that you don't need to have a one-size-fits-all, and it doesn't make sense to have, basically the third trend, about the third trend, is vehicle utilization is going to go up, I think, because we know the private car has 4 to 5% utilization, which doesn't make sense. It's parked there, you use it maybe once per day, within the 24 hours, you're not using it as much. And I think we're going to move to more innovation, more startups that are really increasing the vehicle utilization. We've seen so many of them, but I think we'll see a lot more.